Morning, and what a remarkable good morning. What a remarkable day, and what a remarkable conference. And what a remarkable learning, and what a remarkable experience which we had in the last 3 days. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request all of you to applaud on the remarkable achievements of each one of those who are present here, on the dais, off the dais, the remarkable leaders who have led their organizations with passion, with determination, and with commitment. Today we have many champions of champions with us to whom we are going to award from very short while from now. But let me tell you the story of these champions, the hard work which they have put in for Indian academics, for the industry. We have leading industrialists, we have leading CMDs, we have leading chiefs of the various export promotion councils, various chiefs of the trade promotion bodies who are present here. Each one of them is a testimony of what they have achieved for their universities, for their organizations, and for their companies. Please applaud, give a huge applause to Professor Nick Petford, the Vice Chancellor of Northampton University. Northampton, who is our partner for this academic event, is a most important partner for MIT, not because it is one of the leading universities of the world today, but because of the innovations which Professor Petford has brought to his university. In the last 3 days, we have discussed academics, we have discussed industry, we have discussed that how we can make universities, how we can bring industry and academia together, and what is the role of a research-driven institution, and what is the role of the applied research-driven universities. There was a debate which was held here where the 4 IITs and 5 IIMs director participated. And we deliberated that what is that we can offer to our students which can make their career. Academics is changing very fast, very fast. Every day we feel that there is a change in the classroom. The students who is sitting here, the student who is sitting there, the student who is here, the academics who are sitting here, and the industry which is at the dais, they are looking for something which is conducive and which integrates education with academia. There was a thought, and there was a conclusion, and then there was an open question that what should be the magnitude, what should be the picture of academics in India as well as abroad. There were questions on which we deliberated that how we can create world-class universities and what is going to be the role of the Asian universities with the change in the paradigm. We also discussed that how we can add the value into the lives of the students who seems to be knowing already quite a few things. If they Google today, they can get everything from A to Z. If I'm going to teach them the financial models, they know about the financial models. They will just sit on a computer and the financial model is in front of them. If I want to talk about the stock exchanges, they know about the stock exchanges. If I want to talk about the latest inventions, they know about the latest inventions. If I want to lecture them, then they can sit on their computer and they will say that, sir, this is what we already know. So please teach us which we don't know. So this was the one question, fundamental question on which we debated, that how we need to make our classrooms so interesting and meaningful that it adds to the value in the life of the youngsters. The second question on which we deliberated, and one of the IIM director, and then the Michigan State University Professor Ramesh Garg, who is sitting here, one of the leading academicians of the world, he deliberated was that I think that we need to create a virtual learning environment which is going to be giving the solution of the low-cost, high-value education model. If India has to grow, if Asia has to grow, we need to see that how we should bring the education closer to the villages, not only to the ones who are privileged. If we look at the cost of the education and we want to send our children to some of the best universities of the world, including MIT, we find that the cost of the education is very expensive, very, very expensive. So how we can bring down the cost of education, this was one of the points which we deliberated in this conference. We have with us Mr. Richard Abbott, Director, British Council. Please give him a huge applause. a great leader, a great academician, and I would say a great statesman and a bureaucrat who has given many meaningful partnerships in Asia and in India. Maybe during your address, we will like to know from you the conclusion of this conference, that how we can make the education work. Is it the partnership, one-way partnership in Asia which will work, or is it going to be the research-based partnership which will have more meaning? We also deliberated with the help of the various international trade bodies and also the Indian councils and the Indian trade promotion bodies, that how we can bring industry closer to the academia. Is it the learning which is more important, or is it the teaching which is more important? Or is it beyond learning and teaching, the skills which are more important? The Honorable Prime Minister of India has kept a target that India has to grow at a double digit. And we are determined, we are committed, we are passionate that we are going to achieve it. But how we are going to achieve it? Out of the every 4 youngsters, 1 is going to be the Indian from the age group of 18 to 24. And if that is going to be the magnitude, it clearly specifies that 25% of the young population, which is going to be in the higher education of the whole world, is going to be Indian. If that is the case, then how we can bring the world to India and the India to the whole world? On this we deliberated. I think this is one of the points, Professor Abbott, we would like to know from you, that how we can bring down the cost of the education and how we can create the new universities. We have with us Mr. Sumit Awasthi. Please keep on applauding for Mr. Sumit Awasthi, the managing editor of IBN 7. Also we have on the stage with us Mr. R.K. Dalmia. Keep on applauding for the chairman of Textropil. Give a huge applause to Mr. Vipul Shah, chairman of Gems and Jewelry Export Promotion Council. Keep on applauding for Mr. Sandeep Kalia, CEO Velvo Line Cumanis. Mr. Deepak Chaurasia, editor-in-chief of India News. Mr. Sumit Awasthi, Dr. Subrabhat Chakravarti, Dr. Jyotna Suri, CMD of Bharat Hotels, Dr. Rocky Kalra, Corporate GM Bharat Hotels, Mr. Shivam Chabla, Director, MH1 TV Networks. Give a huge applause to Mr. Rakesh Kumar, Executive Director, Export Promotion Council for Handicrafts, Mr. Chaudhary, the CMD of Strip and Metal, Rahul Vadhavan, National Head Coca-Cola, Parag Khanna, Vice President Marketing, Idea Cellular, Mr. Balaji, Director of Regulatory and External Affairs, Vodafone, Mr. Anil Sharma, Senior Vice President, Havels, and Mr. Latif Nandani, the Chief of eBay India. Industry is very, very important. Industry is very important. And I think in the last 3 days, what we deliberated in one of the sessions, where the leading industrialists, they talked about that we, if have to grow, if Asia has to grow, if the world economy has to grow, we need to see that we create entrepreneurs. We create those skills in our universities which can give meaningful employment not only to the thousands and lakhs of the people in India, but can generate the global employment. At MIT, this has been in our veins. In this university, this year, and I take pride, if you can show that slide, please, Professor. There were 30 students into 90 students. They got excellent placements. And 90 of them, they declined to take those placements. The students of MIT Business School, the students of MIT International Business School, the student of ASB, the students from Greater Noida, which is our new campus, they declined to take those placements and they started their own companies. And we announced the incorporation of these 30 companies. Huge applause for those students who have created it. If they can stand for a while so that we can give a huge applause to these entrepreneurial students. A huge applause for these students. Please sit down. And I would request the industry that please help them, please guide them, please mentor them that how they can become successful. And this is one spirit which Dr. Chauhan, who's our founder, and who came with one mission, with one passion, with one commitment, that he has to create entrepreneurs from India, came from Germany, and started up MIT. And it reminds me 20 years back, when we were having a first batch in our business school, we were only 60 students. Today we have 150,000 students, 150,000 students. 8 universities, 14 foreign campuses, and a vision of having 50 campuses all across the globe. That is a vision. And why this vision? The vision is to see that in the world we create a culture of entrepreneurship. And I think this mission is incomplete if we don't have the support from the industry. So another applause for the industry, people who are sitting here. I have been asked to sum up that what is the conclusion of the research conference which we organized, and what is the achievement. The achievement of the conference is 700 research papers which we published. And I think the Greater Noida campus did a wonderful job. So a huge applause for the Greater Noida campus. And also to the team of Sector 125 campus, where the research conference was held. And for the first time, we got such high qualitative papers. More than 500 dignitaries, including the CEOs, heads of the various multinational companies, vice chancellors, directors of not only the Indian universities, but who's who of the whole world was present here to deliberate on how we can strengthen the academic structure. This was the sixth achievement which we achieved during the three days conference. We had leading academicians from USA, UK, Germany, Australia, Canada, Singapore, China, Korea, Japan, New Zealand, Italy, and of course from all the MIT institutions. More than 100 institutions all over India, they participated. We had 5 international agreements which we signed with the various international universities. We announced our research center with our partner, University of Northampton. And today in the evening, we are going to announce the first luxury brand which is being launched by University of Northampton and with the business schools and the fashion schools of MIT. This is another beginning. This is another start. This is another birth of entrepreneurship culture where 2 universities are coming together and they are launching their own brand. We signed another agreement with the Eastern Michigan University to have their research center at MIT. We signed an agreement with FICCI that how we can help the students of our various business schools of Noida and Greater Noida to start their own companies. And we are thankful to FICCI that they have agreed to mentor our students who have taken a risk. One of the conclusions which we deliberated was that never be afraid to take a risk in life, because even if you will fail, it will give you a learning of lifeline, and that is how entrepreneurs are made. Thank you so much, FICCI, and thank you so much, Middlesex Asian Business Association, which not only agreed to mentor our students, but also were the sponsor for the culture evening which we organized last evening. We also had a research agreement with Queen Mary University of London. A huge applause for them to having agreed to work with us very closely to work on the various innovative researches which we are doing, and another research center which we are building with the Queen's Universities, with the Queen University Ireland. We signed another agreement with the National Chung Chang University, Taiwan, and we are opening up the new era in the area of nanotechnology, engineering, and for our business schools in the many interested areas. We also signed a research agreement with Luleå University of Technology, Sweden, and we will be hosting another research conference in the month of September in India and in July in Sweden. We are going to sign today an agreement with the Nantes Institution, University of France, and we have signed an agreement with the University of Kent, USA, to open the research center. Please give a huge applause to all these universities who have agreed to come closer to MIT and to start up their research centers with MIT in India and in their universities. Another achievement of this conference was that for the first time, in India, any business school has taken an initiative to convert the copyrights which they are filing in their business schools into patents. And with the help of the 16 top universities of the world, including the Ivy Leagues, Russell Group of universities, and the universities who were present here, we have started converting our leading copyrights into patents. These are the 27 copyrights which we released during this conference. A huge applause for our team which worked day and night to release these copyrights and then to convert them into the patent. This is for the first time any management school, any business school in India has taken this initiative. And mind it, these are the copyrights, these are the tested techniques which we have already applied in the various reputed organizations like Suzuki, LG, Samsung, BHEL, ONGC, and our teams are regularly doing training programs and consulting on these copyrights and patents. And another area where we are strengthening amity is consulting and working jointly with the industry. And I would request all the industrialists who are sitting here, export promotion councils who are here, one of the conclusions on which we deliberated was that I think that Indian universities have to come closer to the councils, export promotion councils, to the industry. But there are very few universities who get a chance to work closely with the industry. I know that you have to prepare a lot of reports. Export promotion councils, the trade promotion bodies, they prepare the reports. Why don't you consider sending these reports and giving these assignments to our business schools, to our engineering schools, and to our other institutions? We look forward for your support. Another applause for the industry. And I'm sure that with their help, we can work together, we can create consulting. 585 patents which MIT has filed is a testimony of why we say that we are the research-driven university and we have a passion towards innovation. And this is another area where we want that industry should come closer to MIT. Research has no meaning if it is not commercialized. Research has no meaning if we are not useful to the industry. We don't want to create a research base which is just a theoretical research. We don't want to be a theoretical academic research-driven university. We want to be a research-driven university which is a most innovative research-driven university. And we would request you that please look at our patents, and if you find that you can convert, you can commercialize these patents into your companies, and you can help us in commercializing these patents, we will be more than happy that as a university, we shake hands with the industry and make the use of the strong research which our faculty is doing. Thank you so very much. As an academic exercise, we released 8 books in this conference. The first book was on the trends in India's exports. The other was on the corporate restructuring, mergers and acquisition. The third was on the essentials of service marketing. The fourth one was on the A to Z of the journey of self-introspection. We also wrote the books on the business etiquettes. We wrote a book on the short stories. We came up with a book on the tax structure, that how you can eliminate the black money from this economy, which is the one of the agenda of our Prime Minister. And we have suggested 3 alternative models in this book, that how, without taxing the already taxed ones, the salaried people, the middle class people, you can still sustain the economy and you can grow at a double digit. We have also come out with a book on the financial accounting. So these were some of the research outcomes of this conference. Also, in the research conference, we deliberated on the various issues, which including the ranking system, how ranking system should look like. Is it tilted towards the West? Or is it taking into account the various points which are having more relevance as far as the Asia is concerned and India is concerned? We also talked about the bureaucracy in academics. Bureaucracy in academics. And we took the case studies of the 3 universities. We took Northampton as a case study, where Professor Petford said that how their university have jumped into the rankings by applied research and not by just academic research. A vice chancellor, if you sometimes go to his home, you will find that he is a vice chancellor with a vision, with a passion. In his dining room is a mannequin. And in that mannequin, you can see the products of the students, and you go there and he will very proudly show you that this is what my students have produced. The vice chancellor who walks with the students, the vice chancellor who goes to the students, the vice chancellor who speaks to the students, the vice chancellors who interact with the students. We took Northampton as a case study, that how with the applied research and how by bringing the culture of entrepreneurship you can jump on the ranking in the whole world. We also took Nanyang Institute of Technology, Singapore as a case study, and NUS as a case study. And we took MIT as a case study. That how these three universities, the leading brands in Asia, right, are jumping from one ranking to another. And the people, they ask questions that what is so unique? How their numbers are increasing, how their profits are increasing, how their revenues are increasing, how they are still having a sustainable model, how they are bringing industry closer to the academia. So one are the new universities which are coming in, which are focusing on the applied research, and then there are traditional universities which are focusing only on the academic research. So there was huge debate in this conference that what is going to be the magnitude, how the universities are going to go on in the times to come. We also focused on that how you can reduce the cost of operations of the university. And what is going to be the role of the private entrepreneurs and the private university system in the whole world and especially in India. We spoke on that if we have to invite the leading foreign universities, then what kind of environment we have to give them. It is very difficult to create this kind of infrastructure. It's a cost. For an entrepreneur, it's a cost. So how we can have a cost-effective model through which we can reach to the thousands and crores of the people who actually need education. And we took Pan-African e-network project of MIT as a case study through which 30,000 African students are being educated through virtual learning. One of the points, and I think this was the last point which we discussed in the session, at how you can create the world-class organizations if a person is not satisfied from inside. And what is going to be the role of a female? What is going to be the role of the female entrepreneurs? How you can create and how you can inculcate the entrepreneurship and the passion in them to join the industry. You can see that there are so many top people here and here. And one of the things which we deliberated was that especially in India and in Asia, this is very relevant. In class 10th, if you look at the results, out of the 10, 7 toppers are females. In the class 12th results, if you look at, right, out of the 10, 6 toppers are females. In the graduation, if you look at out of the 10 toppers, 4 are females. In the post-graduation, if you look at the list, out of the 10 toppers, the top people, the top brains, 2 are females. And if you look at the composition of India, in the industry and in the top positions, you will find that out of the top 10, only 1 is a female. How we are going to change it? And if it has to change, then what change we need to make in our organization? What is the culture which we need to cultivate in our organizations? We would like to understand from the leading industrialists who are present here. Why is it so that the females are not occupying the top positions? Why is it so that the age of 33, 34, they retire? They retire. And how we can have the work-life balance, which was debated last evening, in which our Chancellor also participated. Which is very important, that how you can have the work balance. And the conclusion was that quality time is more important than quantity time. Family is very important. Health is very important. Children are very important. Spouse is very important. Relationships are very important. But rather than dragging a relationship, the best one is that you give the quality time rather than giving the quantity time. And the last issue on which we discussed was trust and passion. That how you can create the organization, and unanimously everyone agreed that it's the passion which can create the world-class organizations. And we had with us a freedom fighter, the Padma Bhushan, who said that what was it which brought radical changes in the Indian political system? And what is it that it is bringing again a radical change in the Indian political system? Organizations are not run by the dead bodies. Organizations are not run by the bureaucracy. Organization is not run by the emails, but the organization is run by the leadership. The leadership where the leader comes up and says that I own this organization. If you start loving what you do, you are a leader. If people look at you and look at you as a solution provider, you are a leader. If you are passionate about your work, you are a leader. And I would like to end my speech with the words of Ram Prasad Bismil, who created such passion during the freedom movement, which actually lighted and ignited lakhs of people. And he said that if you really want that something should change, then that fire should be here. It should be here. And he said that the world-class organizations and the world-class countries, they are made not because money is there or 4 M's are there. Money is there, machine is there, material is there, or market is there. You can create a market. Gandhi created a market. Gandhiji created a market. You can create man. Gandhi created man. Bhagat Singh created man. Ram Prasad Bismil created man. You can create machines, you can have your revolution, but the most important thing is that you should have a passion to run the organization. And we are so lucky that we have got so many passionate students here, so many passionate faculty members here who have organized this research conference. A huge applause to all the students, all the faculty members, and a great team of MIT which organized it. And I can very proudly say that I lead this great team who is the best team of the whole world. The best HOIs, the best university, the best brand. And at the same time, we are very humble because we need to learn some of the top brands who are present here. We are young, we are passionate, we are thirsty. And we know that we need to go quite long if we want to be the best in the whole world. So learn from the people who are here and who were participating in this research conference. I would like to end it with the passion which Bismil put in the freedom struggle and which brought India to what stage it is. And it says, Dil mein jinke zor hai, the one who has a power. It's a poetry. And it says that, and Professor Petford was asking that you should amalgamate Indian system with the British system. So I'm trying to do poetry. So, and in putting the Indian poetry into our culture. And he said that the one who has a passion and the one who has determination and commitment, how he can create an organization. Dil mein jinke zor hai, the one who has a power here. Dil mein jinke zor hai, katte nahi talwar se. Dil mein jinke zor hai, katte nahi talwar se. सर जो उठते हैं वो झुकते कभी नहीं ललकार से. दिल में तूफानों की टोली और नसों में इनकलाब, दूर रह पाए जो हमसे दम कहां मंजिल में है. वक्त आने पे बता देंगे तुझे आसमां, पहले से कैसे बता दें क्या हमारे दिल में. And let me tell you, this is a passion. And this is a commitment, and with this commitment, with this passion, with this determination, we promise to the entire industry, we promise to the galaxy of global academicians who are present here, and the galaxy of the teams, researchers who are here, that we will make you proud. By coming here, you have shown us a new light, and with your guidance, with continuous your support, and with the various partnerships which we have signed, we will make you proud. We will make MIT proud. We will make the whole world proud. And let me tell you that you academicians, you are going to give a new direction to the whole world. And all those from India and from abroad, let me tell you, the teacher is most important in the life of a student, because we are not only touching, we are not only going in the classes, but we are touching the souls of these youngsters who are the future of the whole world. For the teachers, I will only say that Bharat ka swarnim gaurav एक अध्यापक लाएगा और तक्षशिला नालंदा का इतिहास लौट कर आएगा. Thank you very much.